Everyone, guys. Hello, everyone. Good evening. How are you all? Good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone. Just please comment once about the audio and video of the class. As everything is working good, working fine. Hello, Kiran. Hello, Lakshmi. Hello, Naveen. Hello, Hema. Hello, everyone. How are you all? Audio clear? Video clear to everyone? Just please comment once about the audio and video of the class. As everything is good, working fine, no issues. Everything is clear. Audio clear. Video clear. All clear. Hi, Naveen. How are you? Hello. Hello, everyone. So, whoever is in the class, just please comment once. Whoever is in the class, just please comment once. So, today you is your first class of your capsule batch, right, everyone? So, in the morning session, I have discussed some of the most important numericals for you all, and there was one mistake I have done in that session. The numerical one, actually, numerical one, the correct answer is 10,200. Actually, I miscalculated that in the class, right? So, only the calculation part is incorrect. So, I have just miscalculated that. So, the correct answer is B, 10,200, not 10,500. Okay, guys. Hello, good evening, Abhinay. Good evening, Smriti, Krishna. Good evening, Shanta Kumar. Okay, everyone. Hi, guys. Hello, everyone. How are you? So, we are starting today IEFS, and I am going to cover this complete module A in today's class. So, module A. First of all, the first basic thing about this batch is not for detailed discussion, everyone, because you can understand one module in one day means one module in one class, okay, 2 hour or 3 hours lecture, and per unit 1 hour lecture. There is a lot of difference between these two, right? So I have given you a lot of detail in the foundation batch, okay, that is fine for all of you, right? But in this class I'm just going to give you the important part, the important discussion which I have to make to you, okay? Complete module A revision will be in very fast mode, right? All the important thing I have covered in this session. So if you are reading only this PDF, this is enough for your examination. If you are only reading this PDF, right, so this is enough for your examination, right, everyone? All the important thing, all the important coverage I have done, but I'm just going to explain it a little bit faster and in shorter term, because I am in that conclusion that you already have studied everything in the foundation or any other batches. This is just a revision class for all of you. Okay, guys, everyone. So, can we start this? So, this is the unit one. Let's start with the unit one, an overview of Indian economy. Ignis Medicine database is very, very important for all of you. First of all, I already and I always told you that Ignis Medicine database is very, very important for each and every one of you, right? So, India and China, they together contribute 50.5% in the globe GDP in 1080. Okay, you have to learn this. So in 1080, India and China, they were contributing 50.5%. By 1680, when the time passed, by 1680, this contribution was actually increased to 52%. China was contributing 29, India was contributing 23% of the gross domestic product at that time. But then again, if we talk about the current contribution of India, so we are contributing approximately 7.3% in the globe GDP, which is very less. Okay. By the time Britishers left India in 1947, our contribution had shrunk to only 3%. So by 1080, 1680, we have a lot of and a very good and a very substantial contribution in the GDP of the globe, right? But by the time when Britishers started exploiting resources and everything were in the hand of the Britishers, they just exploited the resources, and our GDP's contribution shrunk, and it was left to only 3% by the time Britishers left India. Okay. Now, when we are talking about the World Bank is actually categorizing the complete economy of the world into four categories: lower income, lower middle income, upper middle income, and higher income. These are the four category in which all the countries are distributed. So India falls in which category? This category. lower middle income category, right? Because India, they have less per capita income, right? And all the contributing factor, we are considered as a lower middle income economy. But in terms of purchasing power parity, we have a very good rank. In terms of purchasing power parity, India is ranked third after USA and China, right? So USA is in the first position, China is in the second position, third position is in India. Purchasing power parity. Okay. And first and second position keep on fluctuating between India and China. Now, when we are talking about India, India is a lower middle income economy because we have low per capita income. So, what is the characteristic of low per capita income? Very important thing. So, the characteristic is, first of all, in a low per capita economy, we have high level of poverty. India has high level of poverty. India has unemployment. India has illiteracy. So, these are some of the characteristics of the low per capita economy, right? Now, a number of factors that actually influence the Indian economy. When we are saying that, how you define Indian economy, what are the characteristics of a specifically Indian economy? First of all, we have low per capita income, we have rapid population growth, we have high level of unemployment, underemployment, and disguised unemployment. Unemployment, you know that. Underemployment means getting less than what we deserve. For example, I have a PhD degree and I am just doing a role of HR, right? So I am just in the position where I am getting less than what I deserved, okay? Because I have much higher qualification than that, but because there is less employment all over the country, I have settled with that. Underemployment. Disguised unemployment means in an area, if for example, 2% is needed for completing the task, because of the overpopulation and less employment, we have just engaged four people in the same area. Okay, so that is disguised unemployment. We have excessive reliance in the primary sector. Yes, we are very much dependent in the primary sector. We have a cycle of poverty. We have rising unemployment. So these are the characteristics of Indian economy. Okay, now let's talk about the British time period, Indian economy during the British time period. So we know that Britishers have made India a hub of just supplying the raw material. So raw material, all the raw material is supplied from here, India, to Britain. And the goods are manufactured there and then it is actually sold to all part of the world. So we was just a raw material source for them, right? Our resources were overexploited by the Britishers, and so our contributions start falling. So by 1680, you know that our contribution was 23%. But by the time Britishers left India, it was shrunk to only 3%, right? Similarly, in trade also, when in 1680 we were 33% in the trade. But by the time Britishers left India, we have only 3% trade left in 1947. The first national income was in India was calculated by Dadabhai Naoroji. You have to remember this. And in his book, The Poverty and Un-British Rule in India, this was actually published that time. In this, he actually mentioned the first national income of India for the year 1867 and 1868. Every point is important here, right? Now, when we are talking about, in short, what is the time period for the British? It is from 1858 to 1947. From 1858 to 1947. The main characteristic, first of all, exploitative British policies. Resources were depleted at a very high rate, right? Good thing happened was actually the introduction of railways and telecommunication at the time of Britishers. But we have a lot of poor governance at that time. Famines were there, right? Introduction of zamindari system. Zamindari system actually just snatches the land of the farmers and zamindars in India, right? So these were the main characteristics of the British colonial period. What you have to learn is the time period. What is the time period? It is from 1858 to 1947. Okay. Now, let's talk about something, Indian economy before and after 2008. Why I have differentiated it by 2008? It is because 2008, India was affected by the financial global crisis. You know that the global crisis actually started from where? It was started from USA. Okay, due to the poor lending, poor governance, USA as actually under the influence of the financial crisis in 2008, which was later spread to all part of India as well as to all part of the world. So before 2008, India has the high economic growth. We are doing very good in the service and IT sectors. Middle class rise. We have liberalization and globalization reforms. Yes, of course, the challenges was there. Like we have rural, urban differentiation, division, we have inflations, right? So this was before 2008, but after 2008 the impact of global financial crisis was seen in the economy. We have banking sectors issues, we have economic slowdowns. Okay, then government has introduced various relief packages for recovering the economy. Okay, we have shifted towards social welfare, we have shifted toward inclusive growth, we have enhances our global presence. Okay, there was different technological advancement done in the Indian economy. So it was before 2008 and after 2008. Okay, so this was all the important part of unit 1. Any doubt in unit 1? Everyone, you guys, if you have any doubt in unit 1, kindly just ask your doubt, each and everyone, or just please give me a thumbs up. See, please don't waste time in the class. Okay, if everything is clear, you just automatically at the end of each unit you have to give me a thumbs up. Okay, but if you have any doubt at the end of each unit, I am pausing for 1 or 2 minutes for you all to ask your doubt. So if you have any doubt, just kindly wait till the unit is finished and then we will discuss it. Okay, no, MCQs, Rigved, we will be discussing in the final marathon. Once we have completed all the module A, B, C, and D, then we are discussing the final marathon. But yes, tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., we have module A marathons. Tomorrow morning 8 a.m. So you are completing whole theory of module 8 today. So tomorrow morning 8 a.m. we have the MCQs, module A marathon, all new MCQs, right? All new statement based good case studies type MCQs, and this will be in YouTube. So all you have to attend that YouTube session. I will be sharing the link in the Telegram group, right? If you don't have my number, just write it down my number. You will message me in my number, I will add you in the Telegram group, right? I will be sharing the link in the Telegram group, okay, so that you can all join tomorrow 8 a.m marathon A module A, right? Good, everyone. Right. Okay, just next. Okay, next, sectors of Indian economy, guys. Everyone, sectors of Indian economy. Okay, so we have three sectors of Indian economy: primary, secondary, and tertiary sector. So we have three sectors of Indian economy: primary, secondary, and tertiary. First of all, what is a primary sector? Okay, primary sector, when the things are obtained as it is in its natural form from the environment without any conversion, that is primary sector. Like forestry, like fishing, like agriculture, like mining, we are just obtaining the thing as it is from the natural environment without any conversion. That is called as the primary sector. Okay, secondary is what? Secondary is when we have converted this product, this actually the thing we have obtained as a raw material from the nature, and then we have converted it into a finished product. That it is what? Then it is secondary. Then when it is sold into the market, the service related activities, these are the part of tertiary sectors, right? So for example, I have just obtained wood from the nature. Forestry, wood, that is primary. Now wood has been converted into furniture. So furniture, because it is converted into finished product, then it is secondary. Now this furniture is sold in the market, then it is known as tertiary sector. Clear? Right? So now all the difference between primary, secondary, and tertiary sector, just give me 1 minute. Okay, let the azan over and then we will start it. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Okay. So we were talking about primary, secondary, and tertiary. So primary, when the things are obtained in its natural form, like for example, agriculture. So it is also known as agriculture and allied sector. Secondary, also known as manufacturing. Tertiary, also known as service sector. Right? Primary, we are mostly unorganized, use traditional technique. Secondary, we just use better technology than the primary sector, but in tertiary, we are very advanced. Primary sector includes agriculture, forestry, mining, right? Dairy is also a part of primary sector. Secondary, like we have all the small scale units, large scale units, multinational corporations, etc. Right? That is secondary. Now, tertiary, all the service like banking, insurance, communications, everything come under the tertiary sector. Now, when we are talking about the tertiary sector is divided into two categories, very important. So there was one question from this particular slide in the previous exam. Okay, so tertiary sector have two subdivisions, quaternary and quinary. So quaternary means the knowledge sectors, quaternary means knowledge sector. So if you are related with teaching, research, development, intellect part of the economy, then it is a quaternary sector. Okay, now queenary sector means those people or those top management elite people which are responsible for the decision making of the economy. So there are some high level bureaucrats, government officials, okay, very big like Reliance and big private corporate sectors, okay, who actually influence the decision making of the economy. That part are called as queenary. So service sector has these two subset. Quaternary, the intellectual part of the economy. The queenary is the decision makers of the economy. Clear? Done? Next, when we are talking about the revolutions, again, very important. There was one question, pink revolution in the previous exam cycle. So this was a PYQ, right? So these is all you have to learn. Okay. So very important, like green revolution related to agriculture. Who is the father? MS Swaminathan. White or Operation Flood is mostly asked. So milk, it is Varghese Kurian. Yellow, very important. Blue, very important. Silver, important. Pink, obviously important. Brown, important. Red, important. Gray, important. Black, important. Okay, round as well important, right? So these are the different type of revolutions we have seen in the primary sector. Very important, you have to learn the color, the name, the father of the particular revolutions. Okay, time period is not important. Okay, time period is not important, you can ignore this time period sections also, right? Now, let's talk about the GDP contribution. Very important thing. Okay, just listen it carefully. So when we just see this chart says that when in 1950 the agriculture and allied sectors, they were contributing 51.8%, whereas 14.2% industry, 33.3% service sector. Okay, means at that time most contributed sector was agriculture, then second was service, and third was industrial sector, right? But now, when we are looking at the figure, which is current figure, 18.6 is the only contribution of agriculture sector in the whole GDP. 28.6% is from industries and 52.8% is from the service sector. Means the now which sector is the most contributing sector? It is the service sector. Second is industrial and third is the agriculture sector. So in terms of GDP contribution, when I am just sorting it with high to low. Okay, so GDP, the most contributing sector is service, then comes the secondary, and then comes the primary or agriculture sector. This is from high to low. But in terms of employment, okay, which sectors provide most employment? High to low, I am just giving. So employment, most contributing sector is agriculture sector, topmost. Okay. Second is service and third is industry, or second is industries and third is the service sector, right? So they are the two different things: GDP contribution and employment. So in terms of employment, agriculture sector is contributing most and service least. In terms of GDP, service most, agriculture least. Okay, done. Very important thing. Okay, next, phases of Indian industries. What you have to learn is the time period and the name of the phase. So phase 1, 1951 to 65, it was called as industrial foundation. Various industries have been set up during this phase. Phase second, 65 to 80, time period of industrial fall. Third, 1980 to 1991, industrial recovery time period. And 1991 onward, it is the phase 4, post reform period. Learn the name and the periods. Very important. Name and period, both you have to learn. Phases of Indian industry. Okay. Next. Now let's talk about the sunrise sector. Very important. There was one PYQ related with this sector also. A sunrise sector is those sector which have a lot of potential to grow. First of all, they have a lot of potential to grow in the future. They are still in a very new stage, infancy stage, very new. Okay, there are very little we have done in these sunrise sectors, right? So very initial stage, but they have a lot of potential to grow. They have a lot of public awareness, they have a lot of innovations, okay, and they have a long term growth prospectus. That sectors are called as service or sunrise sectors, right? So sunrise, like for example, green energy, automobiles, healthcare, IT, then infrastructure sectors, these are all considered as a part of sunrise sector, right? Now, again, there was a PYQ related to organized and unorganized sector. So, what is organized and what is unorganized sector? Organized, where the terms and condition of the employment are well defined. Okay, then these are organized. Unorganized means they are scattered, the terms and the policies are not well defined. Unorganized sector. Organized, governed by different acts of the government. Unorganized, not governed by any act. Government rules are strictly followed in the organized sector. Unorganized sector not strictly followed. We are getting monthly salaries in the organized sector. Unorganized sector depends upon the daily wages. Okay, job security, we are enjoying job security in organized, but unorganized sector don't have any job security. Working are fixed here in the organized, it is not fixed in the unorganized sector. Salary of the worker as per the prescription made by the government. However, the government has prescribed for the unorganized sectors also, but the rules are not followed here. Okay, PF contribution in the organized, yes. PF contribution, no, in the unorganized sector. Increment you will get once in a while, but in unorganized sectors, rarely. Benefits, what you are getting as an organized sector employee, the medical leave, the pensions, the travel compensation, there is no such compensations in the unorganized sectors. Okay, examples of the organized sector: government employees, registered industrial worker, unorganized sector like the shopkeeping, farming, domestic workers, etc. Right? So this is the difference between organized and unorganized sector. Any doubt in this chapter? If you have any doubt, please ask your doubt, guys. Everyone, if you have any doubt in the second unit, just please feel free to ask your doubt. Everyone, guys, any doubt in the second unit, just give me a thumbs up. Okay, as soon as you will give a green flag from your side, I will move forward, okay? As soon as you all give me a thumbs up, okay? Can we note that you will get the PDF? You will get the PDF. Don't worry, you don't have to make any notes here. Okay, just a one liner note if you want to. Okay, only if you want to. But we are just giving you the PDF, so don't worry for that. Okay, done. Can we move to the next question, everyone? Next unit. Okay, so now unit third is the economic planning in India and Niti Aayog. I have sorted this in a very good way for all of you, right? First of all, the types of planning. Important thing which you have to focus. We have two type of planning: regional and national planning, right? Regional planning actually started from USA. Okay, very important to note. Regional planning from USA, national planning from Soviet Union, right? Regional planning, which we are picking up a geographical area, then making policies for that. try to develop that particular area or region or division. That is the regional planning. National planning, when we are taking whole nation, we are not dividing it geographical wise, we are not dividing it any rural urban, right? When we are taking the complete nation as a whole, then it is called as the national planning. Started from Soviet Union, regional started from USA. As in India followed the national planning concept. India followed which concept? The national planning concept. We have adopted it from Soviet Union. We have implemented our first 5-year plan in the same footstep of the Soviet Union. Okay. Now, when we are talking about the 5-year plan, who is responsible for managing these 5-year plans? So there was planning commission. Why I'm saying was planning commission? Because now the planning commission has been merged into Niti Aayog, which is now the revamped structure for the development in India. So first talk about the planning commission. It was established in 1950. It has its chairman, the prime minister, right, and the deputy chairman. Then planning commission is responsible for approving the plan which is recommended by the National Development Council, which is again chairman or chaired by the prime minister, right? Now in 2015, the government of India has just revamped the whole planning structure of India and just give a new strategy of India, which was known as Niti Aayog, National Institute for Transforming India, right? Now I have given you a very good chart in a tabular form, the 5-year plan, okay, date and the objective and their targets in a very sorted manner so that you just learn it off in that one line. Okay, the 5-year plan, main objective, okay, the date, whether it is successful or not successful. Okay, like for example, first 5-year plan, it is from what? When we are talking about the first 5-year plan, right? So first 5-year plan, it is from 1951 to 1956. Main thing was agriculture sector, and the target was what? 2.1%. We have achieved 3.6%, right? Second 5-year plan, time period is written, focuses on the industrialization and the steel plants, right? 4.27% growth against the target of 4.5%. Okay, all the important thing is actually given in what? All the important thing is actually given in a tabular form, right, everyone? So all you have to do is to just take a look on this, learn it. That first 5-year plan, time period, objective, all the three important things: period, okay, then the target, like agriculture industries or self-reliance, or like for example in sixth 5-year plan we have just introduced the very famous slogan of garibi hatao, because we are focusing on the poverty eliminations, right? Okay, so target you have to learn, and you just have to see whether they are successful or not successful. You just have to see that whether they are successful or not successful, right? So this is the chart which I have given to you in a very sorted manner. Just read it out, you will able to learn it as well as grasp it. Everything is given, like target, the achieve rate, okay, target, the achieve rate, everything. Okay, done. Now here we can just say that the time period, the gaps between the plan. First gap, it's this: between third and fourth 5-year plan, because of the wars, because we have hit two war, India China and India Pakistan war, right? So because of the ongoing war situations and the recovery, we have take a break here. So it was a break. Okay, so 1966 to 69 was the first 3-year break which we have taken between the 5-year plan, right? Second break was actually taken here from 1979 to 1980, because see, fifth 5-year plan was actually stopping in 1979, starting again sixth 5-year plan in 1980, means there is a 1-year gap, 1979 to 1980. This was the second planning holiday which we have taken here, right? And the third planning holiday, third planning holiday, we have actually taken, these are the annual plans. Annual plans was actually from 1990 to 1992, because see here we have ended this here, we have started the eighth plan in 1992, so we have these 2 years, what these 2 years planning holiday, again the break. So three breaks, okay, first between third and fourth, second between fifth and sixth, and the third break was between the seventh and the eighth plan. Clear, everyone? Now, meanwhile, in 12th 5-year plan, in 2015, we have started the Niti Aayog. Now, let's talk about the Niti Aayog. Full form is National Institution for Transforming India, established on January 1st, 2015. Okay, we have two hubs in Niti Aayog. We have two hubs, Team India and the Knowledge and the Innovation Hub. So these are the two hubs, Team India Hub, Knowledge and the Innovation Hub. Niti Aayog again is chaired by the Prime Minister. We have the Governing Council of Niti Aayog, which is actually having the chairperson, ex officio members in Niti Aayog, vice chairman, full time members, chief ministers, lieutenant governors. Okay, so Planning Commission and NDC, National Development Council, they are all merged in this Niti Aayog Governing Council. Now, what are the objectives of Niti Aayog? For this, I have framed a very good MCQs in the tomorrow's morning session. Okay, so we are completing that in from the questions point of view. That what are the objectives of Niti Aayog, right? Now, from where we are getting the financial support for economic planning. So economic planning is done in India. So obviously the government needs money. The government needs budgetary support to spend in the development. Where we are getting from that all budgetary support. First, the central and state government funding. Then the government has investments and profit. Then we are getting aids, loans, grants from international organization. Government has issued bonds and treasury bills. Okay. Sorry. Then we are borrowing from the international market. Then there are public private partnership. Then we have deficit financing, like we are printing new currencies, sometimes the government prints new currencies, right? We have taxes collection, non-taxes also, like whatever the fees, charges, dividends, challans, fines which are charged by the government, these are the non-tax revenue sources. And then there are some special funds which are kept for this economic planning, right? So these are the financial resources from where we are getting money for the economic planning, right? So this is the complete chapter. Any doubt in this chapter, guys? Everyone, if you have any doubt in this chapter, please ask your doubt. Everyone, any doubt in this chapter? Any doubt? Just give me a thumbs up. See, as soon as you are just giving me the thumbs up, I'm just moving forward. Okay, no doubt, everything is clear. That tabular form, you have to learn it, right? You have to learn the 5-year plan, date, objective. Okay, these three things you have to learn, right? Everyone. Now, the next chapter is Unit 4, and this is the role of priority sector and MSME in Indian economy. Very important chapter of module A. Very important chapter, right? First of all, what is a priority sector? When we are talking about what is a priority sector, how many full-time members? Three. There are three full-time members in Niti Aayog. Okay, Ruchi? Three full-time members. Okay. Okay. Now let's talk about the role of priority sectors. Okay. What is a priority sector? Priority sectors means those sectors which are given priority over the other sector. Why they are given priority? Because they are considered very important for the development of the country, as well as they are the sectors which are of basic needs of the country. That's why they are called as the priority sector. That's why they are called as what? They are called as the priority sector, right? Now, when we are talking about priority sector, this concept in India was popularized in 1972 at the very initial stage. Very important, very important, very important. at the very initial stage of the economy. Okay, all the commercial bank has given the target of 33.3%, that you have to lend at least 33.3% of your total credit in the priority sector as a loan or lending, right? But this was revised by the recommendation of Dr. Krishna Swamy committees. So they recommended that no, we have to contribute. Every commercial bank should have to give at least 40% of their total credit in the priority sector. Then the latest revisions has been done by MV Nair committee. So two committees related to priority sector, Krishna Swamy and MV Nair committee. Write it down. These are the two committees important in the priority sector. There are these eight, or you can say nine priorities sector, identified priority sector. Actually, weaker section is included in the other sector. So technically eight priority sector: agriculture, MSME, export, education, housing, social, renewable energies, and other. Very important, need to learn the eight priority sector. Okay, next, targets. So when we are talking about the targets, first of all, this whole column shows whole domestic commercial banks plus all those foreign banks which have 20 and above branches, 20, more than 20 branches, right? Then this column includes all those banks which have less than 20 branches, foreign banks which have less than 20 branches. These are for RRBs and these are for small finance bank. Learn the current percentage of the priority sector lending. So total priority sector lending target for this, we have 40% of adjusted net bank credit or credit equivalent of balance sheet exposure, CEOBE, whichever is higher, right? So 40% of ANBC or CEOBE, whichever is higher side. Okay. Then for this, again, it is 40%. Priority you can give to the export. Okay. So under 40, you are giving 30, up to 32% you are allowed in export. Okay. Regional rural bank 75%, small finance banks 75%. Okay. Next, agriculture sector 18% of ANBC or COB, whichever is higher. It is not applicable in the foreign banks. Regional rural bank, it is 18%. Again, small finance bank 18%. Micro enterprises, here it is 7.5%. Okay. Here RRB 7.5%, a small finance bank 7.5%. Okay. Then advanced to weaker section, here it is 12%, RRB 15%, and small finance bank 12%. Yes, it is important. You have to learn this percentage. Okay. Now, let's talk about the current figure. Only this is important. Okay. So, what is the current, approximately current lending target for small and marginal farmers? Who are the small farmers and who are the marginal farmers? Okay. So, marginal farmers are those farmers which have the land holding of up to 1 hectare. Small farmers are those farmers which have the land holding of between 1 to 2 hectares, right? So currently we have 10% target for the banks for lending in the small and marginal farmer sectors. And for weaker section, we have 12% target. Okay. Next, definition of MSME. See, now the definition has been revised. Okay. In budget 2025, we have seen the definition has been revised, but you don't have to learn this revised definition, because if the question was asked from MSME, okay, they will ask you this figure. But just at least for your satisfaction, give it a glance, right? For your own satisfaction, maybe it can go south, and the question asked as per the new definition of 2025, we have to classify it into the micro, small, and medium enterprises. Maybe if it goes completely south, you just have a glance on the new definition. Okay, 2025. But most probably, if the question is asked from the old thing. So you have to learn both. Okay, so micro investment should not be more than 1 crore. Turnover should not be more than 5 crore. For small investment should not be more than 10 crore. The turnover should not be more than 50 crore, And for medium, investment should not be more than 50 crore and the turnover should not be more than 250 crores, right? This is the definition of micro, small, and medium enterprises. Okay, I have not included the new definition here. You will find it in the net. Okay, just give it at a glance. Okay, for your own satisfaction. This is for your own satisfaction. Okay, now contribution of MSME in the GDP. So you know that in the GDP we are in the second number. So it is after agriculture, it is contributing second most in the employment. So in the employment, we know that agriculture is contributing most. Second is MSME, means the manufacturing sector, and third is the service sector. And in GDP, it is again in the second number. So top is service, second is this manufacturing sector, and the third is the agriculture sector. So this is the contribution of micro, small, and medium enterprises. Then we have different initiatives. The government has introduced different initiative in the micro, small, and medium enterprises to boost the MSME sectors, right? For example, Make in India. Make in India, everything should be made inside India. 2014 started. We have four pillars, important four pillars of Make in India: new processes, new infrastructure, new sector, new mindset. Learn this, okay? Then emergency credit line guarantee scheme. So under this, the government has given 3 lakh crore collateral free credits to give benefits to approximately 45 lakhs micro, small, and medium enterprises. Okay, collateral free credit. This word is important. Collateral free credit. Then credit guarantee fund trust for micro and small enterprises. Very important to note. It's not include the medium enterprises. Okay, done. So credit guarantee fund trust for micro and small enterprises. Here you can apply a collateral free loan of up to 1 crore from Ministry of MSME and SIDBI. Startup India, June 2016, to foster and give growth to the startup culture in India, right? Then Stand Up India. Now, Stand Up India again for promoting or for giving opportunities to females and SC categories in the entrepreneur, providing them financial assistance, especially to females and SC categories for setting up their own business venture. The loan can range from 10 lakh to 1 crore at a very low interest rate in the Stand Up India initiative, right? Then there is a production linked incentive scheme, which is to provide incentives to the productions for the manufacturing sector. So, for example, if the manufacturing sector is producing more, they will generate more employment, and for them the incentives are given. So financial incentives are given for increasing their outputs. Like for example, if you produce more, you will give less taxes, right? So this actually scheme is introduced by government of India to encourage the local enterprises to produce more and more, right? So this is the production linked incentive scheme. Okay, and this is the complete chapter. Any doubt? If you have any doubt in this chapter, please ask your doubt. Give me 1 minute. Just a second. Give me 1 minute. Any doubt? Meanwhile, just if you have any doubt, please ask your doubt or just please give me a thumbs up. Each and every one of you. No doubt? Everyone. There are 30 plus bankers currently watching this session, and I'm receiving only 10 to 12 thumbs up. See, if you have any doubt, you are free to ask you. Venkat, yes, yes. As soon as this class will be over, in a minute, I will upload the PDF and you will get the PDF. Okay. Yes, agriculture sector is a no, no. See, but we are talking about the production linked incentive schemes. These are for the manufacturing sector, not for agriculture. Productions. This is for the productions, manufacturings, not agriculture. Okay. Can we move to the next chapter? Can we start this next chapter, everyone? Okay. Now, very important chapter. See, I have seen a lot of questions from this infrastructure topic. Okay, so very easy, very scoring chapter, plus a lot of questions from this infrastructure chapter from in the previous two actually exam cycle, right? So important chapter for you all, right? Unit 5. First of all, let's talk about the difference between hard and the soft infrastructure. Hard infrastructure means which helps in the connectivity, like transport or bridges, railways, okay, which helps in the connectivity, major physical network, that is the hard infrastructure. Okay, soft infrastructure, which is actually as a supporting role for the economy, you can say, which helps or which keeps the economy running, that is the soft infrastructure. So hard means the physical networks, connectivities, road, bridges, railways, pipelines, these are hard. Soft, like for example, hospitals, courts, bank, sorry, not bank, hospitals, courts, finance, financial related everything, education, these are considered as the soft infrastructure, right? Now, energy infrastructure. So, energy infrastructure is actually for the what? For the transmission of the energy from the producer to the consumer, right? So, what are the components of the energy infrastructure? Natural gas pipeline, storage, petroleums, washings, like storing and transporting coals, geothermal, hydro, solar, wind power. These are all considered as the energy infrastructure. Okay, under energy infrastructure, very important, look out this. So India's initiative in the energy infrastructure, I have just given you a very good figure here, right? So global ranking in the renewable energy, we are at fourth. Wind power, we are at fourth. Solar power, we are at fifth. Investment, it is like $64.2 billion from 2014 to 19. What is the growth? So we have installed the capacity of 92.54 gigawatt, right? Then we have renewable energy, which we have given growth like 2.5 times. Okay, we have 15 times growth in the solar energy. So these are the India's position and the initiative in the renewable energy. Very important. I've just given you a very good figure to learn, right? Now, communication infrastructure, again, I have given a good figure for you all to remember. What is included in the communication infrastructure? Postal, telephone, internet. These are components of communication infrastructure. Now, what are the initiatives of India? Let's talk about what are the initiatives of India. And I have given you the question also, if you all remember the questions of these, right? So first initiative is what? This is National Optical Fiber Network, NOFN project, National Optical Fiber Network project, 20,000 crore for rural broadband network, especially to 2.5 lakh panchayats. Then foreign direct investment relaxation means the FDI caps in the telecom sectors have been raised to 100%. So currently we have 100% FDI which are allowed in the telecommunication sector. Then production linked incentives is scheme for electronics, right? Current surcharge portals for the mobile towers radiations, right? So these are the initiatives which India has taken to promote the communication infrastructure, and these are all the component, very important. So it is actually a PYQ, and that's why I have given it in a figure format. Okay, next, water management. So for managing water, like canals, wastewater collection or drainage system, irrigation system, flood control system, dams, okay, these are all the part of the water management infrastructure. Transport, what is included in the transport, like road, highways, or bridges, or tunnels, or railway tracks, these are the part of the transport infrastructure. Now, what are the initiatives of India? Again, a very good image for all of you. First of all, road expansion has been done in India, right? Second, we have increased the rail networks also, right? Then we have national ropeways, multimodal logistics, like for a four important logistic park has been set up in the transport infrastructure in the public private partnership mode. PM Gati Shakti has been introduced. Air PM Gati Shakti has been introduced. Bharat Mala Pariyojana has been introduced. So these are the initiatives which has been taken in the transport infrastructure. Right? Remember, very important. Just please take the transport infrastructures. Right? Now next, let's talk about the critical infrastructure. So when we are talking about the critical infrastructure, which are very critical for the economy, means in which we see that larger economy is dependent, that is called as critical infrastructure. It may be soft, it may be hard, it may be water related, it may be communication related, it may be transport related. Everything which is crucial, which is important, in which you are seeing that broader economy is dependent, that is the critical infrastructure. Examples like telecommunication, water supply, agriculture, like transportation, hard, soft, everything is included in the critical infrastructure. You just learn it that critical infrastructure is a broad term. Okay, everyone? Okay, next, green infrastructure, which highlights you the value of environment, right? When we are building the parks, when we are building the national parks, when we are building the wildlife reservoirs, elephant reserves, or Western Ghats conservation, these are all the part of the green infrastructure. Okay, very important part is the social and the ESG. First of all, social infrastructure. Health is the most important component of the social infrastructure. Social infrastructure like health, education, water supply, transportation, agriculture, land, energy, welfare programs, everything are the part of the social infrastructure, right? Now, when we are talking about the ESG, okay, very important, environmental, social, and governance, right? Education, not a part of critical infrastructure. See, if it is written here, then it is. But education, yes, you can say education is a part of critical infrastructure, but larger economy is not dependent upon education. That's why I have not listed here. Okay. Now, next, let's talk about ESG. First of all, ESG is a very important and the modern dimension of the corporate social responsibility. This was a PYQ. What is considered as the modern dimension of the corporate social responsibility? It is ESG, environmental, social, and governance. It means that these are the three most important factors you have to include in your business if you are aiming for the long term and ethical impact of your business, right? So environmental, social, and governance, we have to look for the environment. For every business activity we should consider the environment. For every business activity we should look at the social effect of that in the economy, and we have to maintain a good governance. Okay, and if we are achieving, if we are following these three, we have a long term and an ethical impact on the business. Clear? That is ESG, environmental, social, and governance. Okay, now let's talk about the health. I have already told you health is the most important component of the social infrastructure. Okay, health means like clinics, like the hospitals, like the insurance related, health related insurance, these are all considered under health. Education, you know that we have introduced a new education policy in 2022. The pillars of the new education policy: accessibility, equity, quality, accountability. So these are the four pillars of the national education policy. Clear? Now, family welfare. Family welfare, the main objective behind the family welfare programs is to, first of all, control and stabilize the population. Second, providing them the high quality living and standard. So, first important objective of family welfare program: maintaining, stabilizing, controlling population. Then giving them the high quality standard of living like health, education, etc. This is the main objective of family welfare program. And India was the first country to implement a national program for family plan, right? So this is the family welfare. Okay, and this is the complete chapter. Now, any doubt in this chapter, everyone, if you have any doubt in this chapter, please everyone ask your doubt. You are free to ask your doubt. Take 1 minute, analyze, and then answer. And if you don't, everyone who don't have any doubt, just please give me a thumbs up. Everyone, if you don't have any doubt, just please give me the thumbs up. Everyone, you are free to ask your doubt, everyone. Again, I'm saying that you are free to ask your doubt. Okay, don't just leave anything for tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Just clear your doubt in the class as well. Please make sure to clear your doubt in the class. Okay, everyone. Critical infrastructure, Ruchi. It is a very broad term. Critical infrastructure means when when you are looking for those infrastructure in which the broader economy is showing dependency, it is essential for middle age or higher or adults or toddlers. For everyone it is very important. For everyone is showing dependency on that. That is the critical infrastructure. Everything, hard, soft, water management, if you see that, okay, in this the broader economy is dependent, that is the critical infrastructure. Okay, any more doubt? No, everything is clear. Can we move to the next chapter? This globalization, very easy, very simple chapter. Can we move to this globalization topic, everyone? Oh, very good, Sorna. And I'm glad that I'm just trying to give you as much content as I can in this whole and complete thing. Sharmila, ESG, very important. ESG is environmental, social, and governance. So these are the three essential factors which we have to look completely in our business for long term growth. So if we want that our business should grow for a long term, as well as we will achieve a sustainable growth, then we have to look for the environment. Environment means whatever our responsibility towards environment, we have to fulfill that. The social aspect as well as the good governance. Okay, everyone. Thank you, Hema. And very important, ESG is the most important part, modern dimension of corporate social responsibility. New education policy replaces the 34-year-old education policy of 1986, 2020. So new education policy has been introduced in which year? 2019. It's negligible. Okay, it was written in the book as it is. So I have just given you the same data. Okay, can we move to the next question? Can we move to the next unit? Sorry. Eh, it's okay. Gopal, it is okay. Yes, 2019, it is 2022, it is okay. Okay. So just calculate it. It's fine. There's nothing to worry in this. Okay. The same data I have just written it as it is to you all. Okay. Now, globalization. So this topic is globalization. First of all, globalization is what? Globalization means integration of various economies of the world. So when you are taking such measures, when you are taking such policies which actually do what? Which actually connect you with the rest of the world. When you are connecting your domestic economy with the rest of the world, by any means, by trade, by tourist, by investments, by import and exports, right? These are considered as globalization. Globalization word has been popularized by Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development in mid 1980s, right? So what is globalization? Simply the integration of various economies of the world. And in India, this globalization concept has been introduced in 1991 LPG policy, right? Now, when we are talking about the globalization, so globalization can be the movement of technology, globalization can be the movement of labor. Okay, it can be the movement of labor, it can be the movement of the technology. Okay, and in larger term, you are connecting culture, politics, environments, right? So it has social impact on the populations as well. That is called as globalization. When we are talking about fair globalization, now what is fair globalization? So fair globalization means the advantage of the globalization should be shared equally among the people of the nation. See, when we are talking about globalization, there are a lot of negative as well as positive impact of the globalization. So, making sure that whatever the positive impact are coming with the globalization, that positive impact, that benefits are enjoyed equally, are shared equally among the people of the nation, are called as fair globalization. Okay, so for example, if there is any new manufacturing international company which is coming to India, but this is hampering the local producer, so if the government is uplifting the local producer by providing them collateral free loans, by providing them incentives, subsidies, so that they can just adjust themselves with the new competition, that is considered as fair globalization. Whatever the benefit which is coming from the globalization should be shared equally among the people of the nation. That is called as fair globalization. Okay, next, globalization in reverse gear, which is called as deglobalization. What is globalization? We are integrating, we are connecting various economies of the world, either by trade or by anything. But deglobalization means we are restricting the international trade. We are prohibiting the international trade. We are taking such measures which are disconnecting our economy with the rest of the world. That is called as globalization in reverse gear, which is called as deglobalization. And under deglobalization, the very important part is protectionism. Protectionism means when government frame such laws and regulations which actually restrict and prohibit international trade, that is called as protectionism, right? And the three most important forms of the protectionism is tariff, quotas, and non-tariff barrier. Tariff means taxes. We are imposing taxes to discourage the international trade. We are importing quotas. We are just having the, you can say, limits on the import items which are called as the quotas, means you cannot import more than this. So it is restricting international trade, import quotas. Non-tariff barriers means other than taxes, we are implementing such discouraging policies which are prohibiting international trade. That is called as protectionism, right? So this is globalization in reverse gear. Now, if you have any doubt in this, please ask everyone. Any doubt, guys? If you have any doubt, please ask. Every one of you. Any doubt, so ask. If no doubt, give me a thumbs up. Everyone, guys, everyone. Globalization, globalization in reverse gear, that is called as deglobalization, protectionism, fair globalization. These are the four terms in this chapter. Any doubt in these four terms, please feel free to ask your doubt. Okay. Sharmila, Sorna, Krishna, Venkat, Sunil, Mohan Gopal. Shirish, Ruchi, SK, everyone. Okay. So, economic reform, can we start this economic reform unit 7? Okay, let's talk about first of all the economic reforms. This was the MCQ, this was the PYQ actually, which was asked in the previous exam cycle. Okay, first of all, when the economic reforms has been introduced in India, 1991. Economic reforms of 1991 is known as LPG, liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Economic reforms means when we are just identifying that okay, there is some problem in the economy and we are taking measures for solving it out, like expanding the role of private sectors or giving more freedom to the private sectors, that are all considered as the economic reform. Which factors is responsible for the economic reform? That was the question asked in the previous exam cycle. So like we have the adverse balance of payment at that time, poor performance of the public sector, drop in the foreign exchange reserves, we have large government debts, we have inflation. So these were some of the factors which are responsible for the implementation of LPG policy in India. Dr. Manmohan Singh and PV Narasimha Rao, these were the two personalities behind implementing this LPG policy reform in India. Okay. Now, what is LPG? Liberalization, privatization, and globalization. First, liberalization means when we are giving freedom to the sectors. It means that, see, in the early before 1991, we were following a very restrictive policies. There was lot of restrictions which were introduced in the industrial sector. No one can enter industrial sector easily. There was license raj. Okay, there was lot of bribes in the industrial sectors, right? So first thing is what we have done, liberalization in the industrial sector means removing unnecessary restriction from the industrial sector, removing all the unnecessary restriction from the industrial sector so that everyone can easily enter into the industrial sector. That is called as liberalization. Relaxation is given. Okay. Privatization. What is privatization? Giving more opportunities to private sector, because see, before 1991 we have a lot of sectors in which the private sectors were dominate, sorry, public sector was dominating, government was dominating, government were not allowing private sectors to work, like the airline sector, complete insurance sectors, railway, mining. These were completely in the hand of the government, monopoly were there, private sector were not allowed at all. So privatization in 1991, privatization has been done. It means that we have increased the role of private sector in these government dominated areas. We have introduced, government has sold some shares to the private sectors, and we have introduced private sectors in these government dominated area, so that the government and the public, they are working, they can both work together in the economy. That is known as privatization. Globalization. Globalization, I have already told you in the last unit. It is integration, connecting our economy, domestic economy, with the rest of the world. So, liberal freedom, privatization, increasing the role of private sector. Globalization means integration of various economies of one, right? Now, economic transformation, so we have introduced different type of reforms, right? First of all, in financial sectors, these were the important committees. Please learn these committees. PYQ was there from these committees, right? Like, for example, Chakrabarti Committee on Monetary Policy, Narsimha Committee on Financial Sector, Padmanabhan Committee on Bank Supervision, like RH Khan Committee for Financial Institutions and Banks. So these were the different committees. Verma Committee on Weak Banks, right? So these were the different committees which was being introduced in the banking sector to improve the overall performance of the banking sector. Okay, done. Next, Narsimha Committee Phase 1 and Phase 2, very important. Okay. Narsimha Committee Phase 1, 1992. These were the recommendations. Like we have to maintain the capital adequacy, we have to reduce CRR and SLR, we have to deregulate lending rates, credit delivery, we have to what? Introduce or implement or establish a debt recovery tribunal, entry to the new private sector banks, mergers, amalgamations. These were the recommendations of 1992, means phase 1 Narsimha Committee. Phase 2nd Narsimha Committee, 1998. Year is very important, very important. Okay. Now, under phase 2nd, we have introduced different reforms. We have introduced different recommendations. Okay, phase 2nd of Narsimha Committee, like prudential reforms. Prudential reforms means we have to implement the international best practices which are following internationally to India, right? So we have to follow the same international best practices with the international banks were following, right? Supervisory reform, CAMELS has been introduced. Important. CAMELS, capital adequacy, asset quality, management, earnings, and liquidity. Okay, next. Competition reforms means giving entry to new private sector banks so that the public sector bank should have the pressure of some competition so that they can just enhance the customer experiences, right? Market reform, we have to reduce the CRR SLR. Okay, we have to take different measures like repos. Okay, so these were the market reforms. Next, institutionals and regional, or sorry, legal reforms in the Narsimha Committee phase 2nd, like for example the establishment of lok adalats, asset reconstruction company, debt recovery tribunal, the adoption of SARFACI Act, securitization and reconstruction of financial asset and enforcement of Securities Interest Act, banking ombudsman scheme. These were all recommended in the Narsimha Committee phase 2nd. Okay. Now, technological reform. So I have given these technological reform in a tabular form, easy to learn. Like, for example, we have introduced the RTGS banking technologies like NEFT, electronic clearing system, IT visions, AIs, and money launderings. Okay, anti money laundering systems, digital India, direct benefit transfer. So, these were the different technological transformations which have been done, or recommendations which has been recommended in the Narsimha Committee phase 2nd. Okay, debt market reforms. Debt market reforms, like for example, there was the auction system. So under, not under the second, this was not under the second thing, right? So there was debt market reforms that has been introduced in as a part of the economic reforms. Like auction systems has been introduced in the government securities. So now if you want to invest in the government securities, there was auction which has been conducted by Reserve Bank of India, and the auction was conducted by RBI in both mode. Okay, by the platform also, or by the telephonic conversation also. New instrument has been introduced of FII's investments. Okay, primary dealers, payment and settlement, repos and reverse repos, right? Delivery versus payment system. So these were all the debt market reforms that has been introduced, given in a tabular form so that you can just read it out easily. Nothing very important. Okay, now market exchange reform. So foreign exchange market reforms, the main thing is FERA, Foreign Exchange Regulation Act, has been converted to FEMA. So currently, which act is active in the foreign exchange for the regulation of the foreign exchange market? It is FEMA, Foreign Exchange Management Act, which actually replaced the FERA. Okay, and why? Because FERA was very restrictive act. Okay, so we have converted FERA into FEMA. This was the foreign exchange market reforms, right? Now, in capital market reforms, we have introduced SEBI as a watchdog, Securities and Exchange Board of India, right? And in 1992, Indian stock market was open to the foreign institutional investors, FIIs. right? We have introduced the credit rating agencies. We have introduced the electronic transactions. We have introduced the growing mutual fund industries. These were the all reform in the capital market segment. Okay, so this is it. This is the complete chapter. Now, if you have any doubt in the whole chapter, please ask everyone. Any doubt in the complete chapter, please ask everyone. Everyone, any doubt in the complete chapter? So, what is important? Committee's name. Narsimha Committee Phase Second, Phase One. Important recommendations. Okay, important. Okay, these are the important things. Okay, economic reform. LPG is important. Factors leading to LPG. That is important. Okay. Any doubt? Okay. Can I take a 2 minutes break, everyone, and then we will start this unit 8? Can we take a break of 2 to 3 minutes, everyone? Sure. So just can we just take a 2 minute break? Okay. And then we will start this unit 8. Okay. Okay, everyone. Okay, done. Am I audible to everyone? Am I audible to everyone? Audio clear? Everyone? Okay. Okay, thank you, Hema, for confirming. So let's start this. Foreign Trade Policy, Foreign Investments and Economic Development, Unit 8 of IEIFS. Let's start discussing, first of all, foreign trade policy between 2015 to 20. So there was five different schemes which was running at that time, and the five different schemes was focus product scheme, market link focus scheme, focus market scheme, agriculture infrastructure, videsh krishi gram udyog yojana. So these were the schemes which was running differently or separately at that time. Then all these schemes were merged into Merchandise Export for India scheme, MEIS scheme, okay, without any conditions attached. Okay, so this is actually for promoting the foreign trades in India. Okay, next, what is the main initiatives or what are the foreign trades or policies? So any policy which actually are related to the import and export of the economy, then these are considered as the foreign trade policies, right? So under foreign trade policy, between this time period, various measures has been taken to boost the export in defense, to have a high tech items in India, to export handlooms product, because you know that we are very famous in handlooms, to exports books and periodics, footwear, toys, customized fashion garments. So these were all the items which were promoted under these MEIS scheme, right? 108 MSME clusters has been identified here, and these clusters are why they are identified to actually export or to actually boost the exports, right? So these are the foreign trade policy between 2015 to 20. Okay, now foreign direct investment. What is FDIs? Foreign direct investment means when there is an investment which is made by any foreign investors in the domestic country with the intention to control the ownership of that entity, that is FDIs. So FDI is when you are investing. For example, I'm sitting in India, I want to invest in USA's company, but my intention is to purchase the company for having the ownership or control in that company. Then it is set as the foreign direct investment. And you know that foreign direct investments give us better choices, enhance productivity, foster growth rates, and help in generating the employment. Then we are talking about the FDIs. FDIs are allowed in India via two sectors or via two routes: RBI's automatic route and the government route. Okay, so FDIs, these are some sensitive foreign direct investments. These are actually or these needs actually RBI's permissions. Okay, whereas some normal FDIs, they don't need any intervention of RBI or government. So this is the government route. Okay, so there, sorry, there is RBI's automatic route which don't need any approvals. Okay, these are not very sensitive sectors, but there are some sectors which are very sensitive, which needs government approval first. Okay, so that is through the government route. Now this chart is very important, so these two charts are very important for all of you. So here I have written the sectors like agriculture, how much FDIs are allowed, 100%, which route, automatic. Expect at least one question from here, from these complete screenshots. Okay, like for example, plantation. Okay, mining is important, 100% automatic. Okay, defense is important, right? Broadcasting, no. I think print media, it is important. Airport is important. Okay, and when we are talking about most important sectors like private sector, no. Satellites, telecom services, very important. Okay, e-commerce activity is important. Okay, then we have the duty free railway infrastructure, important, 100%. ARC, important, 100% automatic route. Banking, important, 74%. In the banking, private sectors are allowed. And now under 24, up to 49% through the automatic route, and between 49 to 74% through the government route. Okay. In the public sector bank, only 20% FDIs are allowed, and that too by the approval of the government. Important. Okay. Credit information company, 100% FDIs are allowed, automatic route. Okay. Insurance, important, 74% automatic route. Now the limit has been enhanced to 100% in insurance sector. It is as per 2025 budget, but again we have to give this data. Okay. Pension sector, 49% automatic route. Power exchange, 49 automatic route. Right. So these are the important which I have picked. You have to learn it. Okay. Because at least one question expect from this particular slides. Okay. Next, very important again, type of FDIs. Type of FDIs means the greenfield, brownfield, and the joint venture. Greenfield FDI means when you are investing in the foreign country, and when you are just making everything from the scratch. You are building each and everything from the scratch. Then it is known as greenfield investment. Brownfield investment means you are not building everything from the scratch. You are just taking over the already existing company. You are utilizing that office staff, rebranding it, and giving your name to that. That is known as brownfield FDI. Like, for example, there is a very popular XYZ chain of hotels in USA. Now they want to expand in India. So they have two options, whether to build a new hotel completely, right? Buying the land, everything is done, whole infrastructure is done, okay, new staff is hired, okay, then it is known as greenfield FDIs. Okay, now there is another way of investment. Like, for example, they decide to do what? They decide to just have the investment or taking over an existing hotel chain. For example, there is a hotel chain ABC in India which is running in loss. So they decide to just take over this hotels in India, right? Rebranding it. So they are using the infrastructure of this hotel, staff of this hotel. What they are doing, they just rebranding it into the name of their company. Then it is known as brownfield investment. Okay. Joint venture means when you are not taking over anything. Means when there is a foreign company joining hands with the domestic company, then they agrees to share profit and loss. Then it is called as the joint venture. Okay. So Sunil, if the option is given, like for example, nothing is mentioned. Question is asked, what is the permitted FDI in the insurance sector? Only this question, nothing else. 74% is your answer, even if the 100% is given, because now we assume that the examiner is asking the book data. Okay. But for example, the question specifies that what is the insurance sector limit? Okay, as per the new budget 2025. Now, new budget 2025, they have written it now 100% because the new budget says 100% FDIs in insurance sector, right? Okay. Next, now, important. Which are the sectors in which FDIs are prohibited? Okay, so there was one PYQ from this particular slide. The prohibited foreign direct investment sectors, like in lottery, gambling, chit fund, nidhi companies, real estate, construction of the farmhouse, atomic energy, railway operations. So these are those sectors in which the foreign direct investments are prohibited at all, right? Okay, now what is foreign institutional investments? FIIs. Foreign institutional investment means investing in any foreign company without taking the ownership of that company. Actually, doing what? For example, you are an investor sitting in India. Now you want to buy the shares of the any foreign company, like for example, USS company. Your intention is not to take the ownership. Your intention is to just take the benefit of the price change and take the profit and then exit the market. So I have purchased the shares of that company, foreign company, and when the price is up, I have sell that share and take my profit. So this is my intention. So this is known as foreign institutional investment. Whereas FDIs actually are the investment which is done to take the ownership. When I want to hold, control, take the ownership of that company, that is FDI. FII is just to take benefit of the price change, hedging, right? I have to avoid the risk. I have to just take the investments for these short term purposes. Then it is called as foreign institutional investment. Now, what is the difference between FDIs and FFI? First of all, FDI, it counts to the GDP. Why? It counts to the GDP because it is actually related to the production of goods and services. Either you are producing goods or services, so it is adding to the GDP and it is for long term, right? Whereas FIIs, foreign institutional investments, this is not contributing to the GDP because you are not giving investment for any production of goods and services. You are just buying the shares for making the profit. Okay, so this is not contributing to the GDP. This is not going to any production activity, and these have a short term perspective, right? So FDIs, foreign direct investments, are considered as stable in nature, whereas FIIs, foreign institutional investments, they are very volatile in nature, right? Foreign direct investment, your decision of the investment depends upon the macroeconomic policies. You are seeing that, okay, what is the political condition of that country? It is safe to invest or not. Okay, it is very driven by the macroeconomic things. What is the tax structure, how the government is accepting or rejecting the licensing process. So it depends upon these. Whereas this is not the scenario in the foreign institutional investment. Okay, there are different type of FDIs like greenfield, brownfield, joint venture. When we are talking about FIIs, foreign institutional investors, these are called as hot. These are called as hot money. Now, next, there is a difference between economic growth and development. Now, what is the difference between economic growth and development? First of all, growth means you are seeing the quantitative growth in the goods and services. For example, in the previous year, our GDP was 1 trillion. In this year, our GDP is 2 trillion. How much quantity of the production of the goods and services increased in the country? Okay, that is called as growth. We are taking in numbers, we are taking in quantity. That is growth. Development is not related to quantity, it is related to qualitative purpose. Like, for example, we have improved our position in the Human Development Index. We have provided employments to the people. We have good education policies introduced in the country. We have eliminated the poverty. We are rising the living standard of the people. Then it is called as the development. Growth means quantitative thing. Development means qualitative thing. Clear? Now, growth means real national income is increasing. Development means we are just raising the standard of people. Okay, it focuses on the production of good, it focuses on the distribution of the resources. Growth is single dimensional. We are just seeing that, okay, income is increasing, growth. Development is multi-dimensional. We are seeing the income, improvement of the living standards of the people, everything, right? Growth is coming before development. First, we are seeing the growth. We are increasing in quantity, in numbers. Then we are using that money for bringing development in the economy. We have earned money. Now money is spent for providing good education system to the country. So growth is coming earlier. Development is coming after the growth. So this is the difference between the growth and the development, right? Indicators of the growth, like for example, GDP, GNI. Indicators of the development, like human development index, poverty index, balance of trade, etc. Growth is quantitative, development is qualitative. Growth means increase in the production. Sorry, development means increase in the productivity. Growth is a very narrow concept because it is only a single dimension looking how much quantity is increased. Development is a broader term because it is taking into consideration various aspects, right? So this is the difference between growth and development. Okay, now if you have any doubt here, please ask your doubt. Everyone, guys, any doubt here? In the whole chapter, if you have any doubt, please ask your doubt, guys. Everyone. Everyone, guys, just please give me a thumbs up. If no doubt, every one of you have to give me a thumbs up. Economic development is quantitative and qualitative both. It is qualitative in nature. Growth is quantitative in nature. Ninth unit I'm covering. Don't worry, ninth unit I will be covering after 11th unit because that is the international organization. So in that thing, you have to learn more than me. So there is nothing which I have to give to you, but I have just given all the notes. Okay. I will be giving you a very short summary, right? I will be giving you a very short summary of Unit 9, that is the international organization, after Unit 11. Okay. First, let's discuss Unit 10 and 11. Okay, Sorna? Done. See, when we are talking about the uh, growth, growth is development is a subset of the growth. When we are seeing that development, okay, so development is a subset of the growth. So it also includes quantity, but it is more focusing on the qualitative side, right? So you just say that it is qualitative, growth is quantitative to avoid any type of confusion. Okay, Ruchi? Okay, can we start this unit 10? Everyone who is watching this session. So this unit 10 is what? Climate change, sustainable development goals, right? So first of all, let's talk about the 17 identified sustainable development goals. We have to learn it, very important, okay? No poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable green energy, decent work and economic growth, industry innovation, reduced inequality, sustainable cities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, the most important thing, climate action. Sustainable Development Goal 13. Okay, life below water, life on land, peace and justice, partnership for the goals, right? So these are the 17 identified goals. I have written it here also. The time frame for the Sustainable Development Goal is 2016 to 30. Okay, and who have announces this Sustainable Development Goal? United Nations General Assembly. Okay, next. India and India's commitment to the Sustainable Development Goal 13, climate action, very important. Okay. First of all, we have pledged for the zero net emission, for the net zero emission of the carbon gases by 2070, right? So India has five major commitments towards this Sustainable Development Goal 13. First, net zero emission by 2070, 500 gigawatt non-fossil energy capacity by 2030, 50% of our energy requirement from the renewable sources of energy by 2030. India will reduce the carbon emission by 1 billion ton till 2030. And by 2030, India will reduce the carbon intensity by less than 45%. So these are our five commitment for achieving the Sustainable Development Goal 13, right? Now, just give me 1 minute. Okay, let the Azan complete and then we will start. Okay? Okay, done. Sustainable Development Goal 13 is actually the climate action. Ruchi, it is the climate action. Okay, done. Am I audible to everyone? So, we were talking about the green finance. Okay, so green finance means what? Green finance means when you are receiving any financial arrangement, especially for the environmentally sustainable projects, or when the banks are giving the finance, the credit support, especially for those projects which are considered to be as the environmentally sustainable or environmentally friendly projects. That is called as the green finance, right? So, like for example, what are the environmentally sustainable projects like for solar, wind, biogas, clean transportation, like recycling, conversion to energy, green building, waste management. So when the bank is giving loan or when you are securing any finance, especially for these particular projects which are considered as environment friendly projects, then it is called as green finance. Okay. Now, government has taken various steps in India for promoting this green finance. One of the very important step is providing subsidy for the installation of these solar panels. So if there is any house or residence or institution who want to just uh, install solar panels in their rooftop, for that the government is giving 30% subsidy of the installation cost for that solar panels, and in some special category it is up to 70% also. Okay, government has also, RBI has also included this renewable energy into the priority sector lending scheme in 2015. Okay, to provide clear and easy funding to these particular green finance projects, right? Now, green bonds. So green bonds means those bonds which are specially issued for those projects which are environmentally friendly projects. Like, for example, the government is issuing bond, or there is a corporate who is issuing bond, and whatever the money that corporate is raising from that bond, that money is utilized and invested especially in the environmentally sustainable projects, then it is called as green bonds. Okay, so green bonds means whatever the funding which is raised from the bond is actually utilized for the environmentally sustainable projects, then it is considered as the green bonds. And in India, the green bonds concept has been started from 2000. Okay, now, very important is corporate social responsibility, everyone. Okay. Corporate social responsibility, Section 135 of Companies Act 2013 provide legal support for CSR. So, corporate social responsibility in CSR, companies are mandated that you have to spend at least 2%. 2% of your net profit in the corporate social responsibility every year. And if you want to spend more than 2% in any year, you are allowed to do so, and the excess of that is adjusted in the near future. So every year you have to spend at least 2% of the net profit in CSR. If any year, for example, I want to spend 5%, I can do so and adjust the excess in the future. Penalty, like if you are not fulfilling CSR, then there is a monetary penalty that can be imposed on you. For each defaulting officer, 2 lakh penalty, and for each defaulting institution or company, 1 crore penalty is imposed on you. So earlier, before 2020, there was actually imprisonment for maximum of 3 years for the defaulting officer, but now it has been replaced with only the monetary penalty of 2 lakh for each defaulting officer and 1 crore for the defaulting company. That is corporate social responsibility. Any doubt in this chapter? Guys, any doubt in this chapter? If you have, please ask. Any doubt in this chapter? If you have any doubt, please ask your doubt. Or just please give me a thumbs up. Everyone, any doubt? No doubt, so please give me a thumbs up. Each and every one of you. Guys, I can just talk non-stop for 2 hours for you all, right? And you cannot give me a thumbs up. What is it? You cannot give at least a thumbs up to me. I can talk non-stop. I can give a non-stop lecture of 2 hours. But you cannot give me a thumbs up. Okay, if you are done, everything is clear, just kindly give me a green flag so that I can just move to the next unit. Okay, so unit 11 is issues that Indian economy is facing. Very easy, very easy chapter. So what are the issues we are facing? First of all, poverty. India is facing a lot of poverty. Rural have more poverty than urban, you know that. And for eliminating poverty, the government has introduced various measures. What are the various measures? Like Integrated Rural Development Program, Jawahar Gram Samriddhi Yojana, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee. Okay, the Manrega, the National Food Security Mission, the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana. These are some of the measures which has been taken by the government to eliminate the poverty. Second problem we are facing, jobless growth. What is jobless growth? Jobless growth means when we are seeing that economy is growing. Growing means we are seeing that national income is rising. We are seeing that GDP is rising. Okay, good. Well, but At the same time, our unemployment level is also rising, or there is no employment, or even the employment of the country is at a stagnant position. So when the employment is at a stagnant position, or even the employment is decreasing, at the same time we are showing that the economy is growing, then it is called as the jobless growth. And for combating this jobless growth, for what are the solution for these jobless growth? Startup India, stand up India missions, so that we can just promote the skill in the youth, right? So these are the jobless growth. Next is the rising inequality. So India is considered as the most growing economy once in a time, but we are considered as one of the most unequal society in the world. We have inequality in gender, we have inequality in caste, we have inequality in education, we have inequality in urban and rural, we have inequality in the distribution of the resources, right? So India is considered as one of the most unequal societies, whereas India is also considered as the fastest growing economy, right? Next problem, we are seeing the migrations. So migrations means when people are changing their location for better livings, for better possibilities in the receiving location, then it is called as migration. So there are two type of migration: migration in and migration out. Migration in means when there is, for example, the USA citizen is moving to India. Okay, it moving to India. So we are receiving. So this is known as in migration. Out migration means when Indian citizen is leaving Indian citizenship and moving abroad. Then we are we are experiencing out migration. We are changing the location because we are not satisfied with the economical, social, political conditions. We are not satisfied with the opportunities. Okay, so we just change the location in search of better opportunities in the receiving location. That is called as migration. In migration and out migration, whoever are the migrant, they are considered as the resource degraders. They are considered as resource degraders because migrant people don't utilize the resource efficiently, and that's why they are considered as the resource degraders. Okay, so this is unit 11. Okay, now we have the last unit. So we have discussed unit 11. Okay, all unit except this unit 9. Acha, why I have left this unit 9 for the last? Because this is international organization. Now, this unit, the work more is on you. You have to learn the date of establishment, the headquarter, who are the members, okay, of this complete international organization. I'm just giving you an idea in simple 5 minute a revision of this complete unit 9. First of all, IMF and World Bank. See, these two international organizations are called as Bretton Woods sisters because they are recommended in the Bretton Woods Conference of 1944. They have various same features, like they have same number of countries, 190. They have same headquarter in Washington DC. They start functioning in 1945. Okay, but there are difference between IMF and World Bank also. Like International Monetary Fund gives short-term loans for the development of the economy, whereas IMF provide long-term loans. Sorry, IMF provides short-term loans for the development of the economy, whereas World Bank provide long-term loans for the development of the economy. This is the first difference. IMF and World Bank. I'm just writing the difference. IMF short-term loan, World Bank long-term loan. IMF is a one institution. World Bank consists of five international organizations. World Bank considered five international organizations, right? What are the five international organizations? Five international organization is IBRD, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, International Finance Corporation, International Development Association, International Center for Settlement of Investment Dispute, and IDA, International Development Association. IMF actually promotes the economic development of the country. World Bank promotes the social development of the country. right? So this is the difference between IMF and World Bank. There are a lot of same things also, like Bretton Woods, establishment, headquarters, member countries they are same, right? So SDR, a special drawing right, is one of the very important tool of International Monetary Fund. What is a special drawing right? It is like an investment options given to IMF member countries. So if IMF member countries want to invest or purchase, they can just purchase special drawing rights by giving their domestic currencies, right? Like for example, one for purchasing one SDR, we have to just spend 150 to 160 rupees. Okay. What is actually special drawing right? It is a weighted average of five basket currencies. Five basket currencies. What are the five basket currencies? It is yen, Japanese yen, Chinese renminbi, pound, dollar, and pound, yen, renminbi, and one more. I just skipped. Dollar, pound, euro, yes, euro, pound, renminbi, dollar, and yen. And SDR's basket, these are reviewed for every 5 years. So these are the five basket currencies, and the weighted average of these five basket currencies are SDR. Okay. Now, World Bank, same thing. Largest development bank, five international organizations under the World Bank. Social development is the main objective. Headquarter Washington DC. These are the five international organizations under the World Bank. Except ICSID, India is the member of four of World Bank groups. Okay, that there is a difference between IMF and World Bank. I have already told you what is the difference between World Bank and IMF. Then World Trade Organization. For social development, we have World Bank. For economical development, we have IMF. For trade development, we have World Trade Organization. And before WTO, there was the organization which was called as GATT, General Agreement on Tariff and Trade, which was working. GATT has been replaced by WTO, and WTO start working from 1st January 1995. WTO has 165 member, headquarter is in Geneva, right? Now these are the functions of WTO. Trade development is the main objective. Next. For regional and economic cooperations, we have these different international organizations like European Union, learn the establishment. SARC, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. Learn the eight members of the SARC. Important. ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nation. 10 members of ASEAN. Learn these 10 members. Right? OPEC, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. Learn the members of OPEC. You have to learn. G7, learn the members of G7. OECD, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. This is the very same organization which popularized the term globalization in the mid 1980s. NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement. Okay. Then APEC, Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation. BIMSTEC, Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. So these are the organization for economic cooperation and development. Okay. So this chapter is actually more you have to learn. Okay. And that's why I have placed this chapter in the last. And this is the complete module A. I have finished module A. Now tomorrow morning you have the marathon. Tomorrow morning you have 8 a.m. marathon session. All new questions will be there. 8 a.m. marathon session for module A. So you have learned the complete module A. Now come to 8 a.m. marathon session in YouTube for the practice questions, everyone. Okay. So thank you so much, Sharmila, Lakshmi, Kiran, Krishna, Hema. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone who have joined this session. Thank you so much. I hope that you have learned a lot from this session. Okay. From tomorrow onwards, this class will not be in YouTube. So we have only paid classes. Now tomorrow we are finishing module B, okay, in the class, right? So this is complete. This is all from my side. I will give you upload the PDF, okay, as soon as I will end the session. Thank you so much everyone for attending this session. Just one request before going, we have 31 bankers currently watching this session. It's a request that before going, please give your ratings and feedbacks to the session. It is very important for us educator. So please provide your feedbacks and ratings to the session. Thank you so much. Take care. Have a very good night. Come to tomorrow 8 a.m. marathon session. Don't miss out that session. I don't want to see anyone who have missed out that session. Okay, guys, take care. Bye bye. Thank you.